Hello Aquarius, and welcome to the Green Woman Tarot. This is your reading for the first half of February 2021. So that's from the 1st to about the 15th of February. And it's a general reading, just to see what sort of energies are around you at this time, to see what's on the cards for you. But before we delve into the tarot reading, I need to consult the oracle, and this is the Liminal pardon me, this is the Liminal Spirits Oracle, and I'll be using it to draw a couple of cards just to start your reading off with. So let's see what words of wisdom the mysterious oracle has for Aquarius for the first half of February 2021. Let's see what messages are here for Aquarius for the first half of February 2021. What does Aquarius need to know? Just fan the deck out and draw a couple of cards for you. And let's see what you get. So you have burial ground. This speaks of speaking, I'm sorry, Mungo's disturbing me. That's Mungo in the background. He's restless today. So burial ground. This speaks of a need to tread carefully around a subject or over something that is sacred to others. It sort of also hints about your ancestry and getting in connection with your roots and where you come from. But the sense I get from it today is a need to be respectful, perhaps even cautious in dealing with a situation or with people around you, because there's something that's very important, very sacred to them that you may not recognize. And then you've got the corvid, which is about truth and wisdom. Perhaps you need to tread lightly, although you need to get the truth in something. There's the corvids speak of knowledge brought to you, messages perhaps from the past, but it's about gaining wisdom through knowledge that's brought to you. So you may be receiving a message, for some of you even. So there you have burial ground and corvid. But let's see where the rest of the reading goes. So let's see what's on the cards for Aquarius for the first half of February 2021. What messages are here for Aquarius for the first half of February this year? And what does Aquarius need to know now? And this is the Bonefire Tarot, and I'll use it to draw an 8-card spread for you. And the first 2 cards depict you, where you are now, and the second 2 cards highlighting the challenges you face at this time. The following 2 cards may reveal some guidance from divine energies, and then the last 2 cards will take you to, it will reveal your final outcome, the last 2 cards. So let's see what you get. Aquarius, you have the 10 of Swords and the Queen of Wands, where you are now. And then you have the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Cups in your challenge positions. And your guidance from Spirit is the Page of Swords and the Hanged Man. And then the Tower and the Eight of Swords show your final outcome. And you have at the bottom of the deck the Emperor. This particular Emperor, you can see the responsibility of leadership weighing heavily on him. And that's the energies I get from the card today when I look at it. So the Emperor is all about having built up something stable, something secure, and needing to be watchful and disciplined in order to maintain this stability, this structure that you've amassed around you. So it sort of shows being in a position of power and having built something up securely and stably, but it's sort of it comes with a lot of responsibility. That leadership, that needing to lead in a fair yet firm way. So where are you now, though? The Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Swords. The Queen of Wands sort of links in with the fiery energy of the Emperor. This is about someone with a sense of adventure and spirit, very charismatic, charming, creative and intuitive. Shows you in your power, as the Emperor does. However, where you are now, you know, there's an ending. There's something has come to a sudden and perhaps even difficult ending. And you may be feeling this may link in with that weight of responsibility on the Emperor. Perhaps being in that power has brought an ending to something. I sort of get a sense that, you know, inadvertently you may have offended, some of you may have offended someone who you are leading, someone who's under your guidance, under your caress, perhaps in a family situation, someone who is a child or, you know, family member or friend that you tend to look after, to guide. But that's just the sense I get when I look at the whole spread today. But yeah, the Ten of Swords sort of indicates an abrupt ending to something, perhaps an ending to a dispute or a fight. But there's a sense of deep hurt and betrayal linked with that ending. However, it's, you know, it's a very despairing card, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's like all this animosity is finally over. No matter how difficult that ending was, it's ended all that dispute and that agrimony, and a new light is dawning. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. You can see the sunrise in the background and the dark clouds lifting. So it seems for some of you you've come through a difficult situation in which you've been the leader, you've been holding it all together. And your challenges at this time look like it's a challenge to recreate that harmony and that connection. The Two of Cups is about that wonderful, harmonious connection between two opposites, often two people. And it sort of bodes well for long-lasting and deeply rooted relationships and connections. But this is in your challenge role, so I get a sense that, you know, having had some disruption here, what you're trying to do, your challenge is to recreate or regain some of this harmony, this unity. You may have, you know, suffered some division there. And the Ten of Cups is another card. This is about a bigger harmony among family, among your tribe, or your workmates, or your children, your, you know, family, friends, workmates. It's, you know, it's a connection and a harmonious interaction in amongst a bigger group, whereas the Two of Cups is more about two opposites, two. So that's the sense I get. The challenge for you is to rebuild this harmony and this supportiveness that perhaps has been lost. So your guidance from Spirit suggests the Page of Swords is all about seeking the truth, owning the truth. So someone needs to find their voice and speak out. And, you know, the heights that this little figure has climbed in the tree sort of suggests that, you know, there's a sense of instability around you at the moment. And it's sort of linked with this difficulty in feeling that connectiveness again. But, you know, speaking out, finding the truth. And there you've even got the corvid, as I said, which brings news, brings a word. So perhaps it sort of suggests there's more talking to be done. But with your oracle cards and with what's gone on, you know, you've got the burial ground suggesting you tread lightly, you tread carefully, you choose your words after thinking first, you know, choosing your words carefully, using measured and wise words when you do speak. So it's like think before you speak. Think about what is sacred to someone you may have had a disagreement with. What is the crux of the matter? Perhaps it's getting down to the bones of the issue. In thinking on it first before laying down the law, and you know, asserting your power, your dominance. So there you have your guidance is sort of like opening up that communication, but more tentatively than before, perhaps. And then you've got the Hanged Man as well. And he suggests, again, perhaps not rushing in. This is, yeah, the sense I get here is sort of holding back a bit until truths come out, until realization is attained. And that's about the Hanged Man. He puts himself in stasis, in a different position, so that he can see things from a different perspective. And that's, you know, sort of hinted at in what I spoke about in the burial ground, thinking about how it is for others, how they see the picture. And in getting that new perspective, you gain enlightenment, and you gain more knowledge, more wisdom, more enlightenment in order to deal with what could be a precarious situation. Because you know, sort of this endeavor to reconnect and rebuild that harmony is still, seems to me in the reading, a long way off. You've still got a moment of epiphany to come through, more disruption. But with the Tower moment, it brings cleansing at the end of the disruption, at the end of the storm. After the storm, there's that calm, quiet, clear and cleaned environment. So it sort of shows more altercation, perhaps, for some of you that resonate with that line of thought here. More altercation, but one that really cleans the slate. Something that sort of washes away all the obstacles and falsities that may have been built up. The thing with the Tower is that, you know, it sort of suggests that where you felt safe and secured actually wasn't as stable and grounded as you thought it was. And it's toppled at the first storm, at the first challenge. And, you know, what the Tower does, it strips away all the facade, and once that's washed away, it leaves behind a clean slate to start again, with more honesty, with, you know, more openness and more honesty and more integrity. And the Eight of Swords shows that, you know, you will eventually come out of this. But very much like the Hanged Man, it's going to take a new perspective, a new way of looking at things, because this figure is trapped in these swords that have formed a cage for her, and she's bound and blindfolded. But the idea is that it's not as entangled as it may seem, and simply by removing that blindfold, which implies seeing things more clearly, seeing things from a different perspective, and there's even an eye up there. This is about gaining a new perspective, which echoes the advice that is in the Hanged Man. So it shows that you will actually gain that new perspective, and you'll see that way out, even though you know, you're going through some difficult times, and the challenge is a good one. You know, the challenge to find harmony, to find that reconnection, and reinstate that support and harmonious vibe, if you will. Oh, hello, Manga. So there you have it, Aquarius. It sort of looks like a period where you're working through some difficulty, that sort of some ending. I get a sense of disagreement, something. That's what comes to mind. But, you know, you're the parent in this, you're the leader in this, and it sort of does show that with gaining a new perspective, treading carefully over areas where for others it is sensitive and sacred, and, you know, finding that truth, finding that way to communicate clearly without being offensive, brings you through to finding a way out, solving the solution, and hopefully reconnecting and rebuilding that harmonious support. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed your reading and that it resonates with you. And if so, please remember to hit the like, share and subscribe buttons, and then enjoy the first half of the month. And God bless you till we meet again.